Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Ross Merriam. Today I'm playing everyone's favorite tribe. It's Slivers. So we've seen some Slivers decks in Modern before. They're usually playing a bunch of the pump Slivers, anthems like Sinew Sliver and Predatory Sliver. They usually do play Vial, sometimes they play Company, but most Slivers lists go reasonably big. They play like 3 and 4 drops, sometimes they go all the way up to the 5-mana Wooburg Slivers. This list is interesting to me because it's all 1s and 2s with only 2 3-drops in the main deck, and you can get a little slower after sideboarding. And I think that makes a lot of sense. One, it makes Vial better. Just leave your Vials on 1 and 2, always have things to do with them. Makes your Mutavaults better because you have more excess mana lying around. And it just makes the deck more aggressive. When you have all these anthems and Virulent Sliver, as you'll see, just having more creatures in play, getting more creatures into play, this is sort of like an Anthem too, is really strong. So I like the low curve of this deck, and we'll see how it goes. I'm on the play, which is great. I have a very good hand. Get to turn 1, play a Vial. Turn 2, put a Striking Sliver into play and cast a 2-drop. And then turn 3, probably put a 2-drop into play and either play something I've drawn or activate Mutavault and make a big attack. So that is just about perfect. And why don't I start on the Mutavault and pass the turn. This is another deck that gets to use Unclaimed Territory as well. Make the mana base a little bit better, make Mutavault more reliable. So I am a fan. What is my opponent doing? Affinity or Infect. Oh, Affinity. So we're in for a good old-fashioned race, but this is a slow start for turn 1 for Affinity. No excess mana in the form of Drum or Opal. They might be holding Opal for next turn, though, so let's be wary of that. And another land is not great. Sliver. And so there's a couple things to weigh here. One is which one of these I'd rather die to a Galvanic Blast, and it's the Leeching Sliver. But if my opponent has Gal Blast, they can easily wait till my turn. And if I draw another Predatory Sliver or another Sinew Sliver, I'd rather get that down, but I have 2 of these down, than 1 in Leeching Sliver in case they have blockers. So I'm going to cast the Sinew Sliver. Grizzly Bear, go. Really pointy Grizzly Bear. All I got. Okay. Memnite is a good sign for Opal, but they would have played Memnite last turn if they had it. Looks like they don't have the Opal, so unless this is a Steel Overseer, I feel pretty good about this game. They also don't have colored mana to have any interaction. A bunch of Vault Scourges could be annoying because they have Pest to help win the race. Another Pest is good. But we're going to be able to block down this Memnite really effectively because we have First Strike on all our stuff. So let's activate this. Oh, yes. Put this one into play. And yes. Ooh, well, that's nice. Neat thing about Virulent Sliver is it doesn't give them Infect, it gives them Poisonous, a slightly different ability. This is a triggered ability that gives them that many poison counters equal to the number of the ability when they deal combat damage. So you get to deal both, essentially, and multiple Virulent Slivers are cumulative. So let's activate this. Means we won't have to sacrifice doing regular damage to get a few poison in, if that ends up being the best way to race. Put this one in. Activate this thing. And now we get to... so I guess I should play this first. Spent all this time talking about it, and then I just had it in my head to do things post-combat. It's normally good praxis, but... where's my main? Let's mush you for 10. They don't really have any good blocks. The Mem Knight, which is their most powerful attacker at this point, doesn't have a good attack. I can't always yield to all of them at once because they're all on different creatures, but... And we have a lethal attack next turn on turn 4, so good start and a fairly slow start from our opponent. When Affinity goes the first 2 turns without putting one of their powerful cards into play, especially in the draw, they're usually going to be too slow. Right? Sometimes against the more interactive matchups, those hands can win, especially with a bunch of creature lands, but in a matchup like this, it is very race-oriented. Maybe Master of Ethereum here is good enough, but I have 5 attackers. And I still can't attack with Mem Knight. This attack should... Oh, I guess yeah, this attack does not leave them dead. But their attack is only for 4. I guess they could go to 1 and just eat my Mutavault on this attack and go to 7 poison. And, oh no, they're losing a life for every attacker. Yeah, so they are dead here. Keep forgetting about the Leeching Sliver. So this attack's going to bring them to 4 to start, so they're just dead. I don't need to use that anymore. Oh, sure. Why not? Well, now they're super dead. Galrider Sliver can't block, but... So even if they had left 3 blockers back, they still lose. They actually had to not attack at all. Because each of my attackers is worth at least 2, or at least 3 because of the Leeching Sliver. So they have to block 3 of them. Okay, so they could attack with 1, sorry. So yeah, they could only attack with 1 Signal Pest there for 1 point to stay alive. They have to chump with a Mem Knight and a Signal Pest and eat one of my creatures with Master of Ethereum. Probably... No, they'd be at 4. Yeah, they need to block 4 things, man. What am I thinking? So I guess they'd eat the Sinew Sliver and take... They'd be at 2, and I'd have 4 creatures in play, including the Leeching Sliver. They might have to just block the Leeching Sliver, to be honest. But regardless, they were in horrible shape, so... Let's see what we have in the sideboard. I think this card is going to be... It's going to be good. So let's start with these Harmonic Slivers. Psionic Sliver costs 5 mana, it does 3 to itself. That is not something I want. Is Telekinetic Sliver something I want? It does help me control combat. Is Quilled Sliver something I want? Problem is the creatures have you don't get to immediately use them, so then it's a choice between attacking and pinging. Pinging isn't great except against the cheap flyers, and those are not the cards we're going to lose to. I kind of want to bring in this Homing Sliver too, just to find Harmonic Sliver. I think if I find this, it's going to be real hard to lose. And I don't want to bring my curve up too high. Do they have any abilities to target with this? They might be bringing in Aether Grid, which would make Image quite bad. Yeah. It's good to double up on Harmonic Sliver, though. This one doesn't seem very good. Let's cut Venom Sliver. They're not really winning in combat a lot of the time, except with Master of Ethereum, and we have some removal for those now. I guess I'll just cut... I should probably cut a 1-drop, right? Maybe cut Striking Sliver. Think Sidewinder is better. Because these tend to be the worst in combat. I don't mind raising my curve a little bit here. Okay. Maybe these Blur Slivers are better or something more interactive too. I don't know exactly how interactive I want to get in these post-board games. I was able to pretty easily take that game, but I was on the play. My opponent's hand was kind of slow. So a lot of things went my way. Here on the play, or with them on the play, they could easily have like a turn 1 Steel Overseer, and that's pretty tough for my deck to beat. My removal doesn't come online until turn 3. But I'm talking about bringing in interactive cards, and those are the same thing. They don't come online for a while. This Plains is an embarrassing draw, but it's hard for me to mulligan an Aether Vial hand with a reasonable mix of stuff. I just need to draw one of my 4 sea lands, and this hand's quite good. So I'm going to try it. It's a little aggressive of a keep. Turn 1 Mountain is also not the best from them. And just a Signal Pest. So, oh, and there's a Cavern. I guess we can just start on the Vial. And in the Mutavault, trying to think what I'm going to do next turn. I guess I could ambush a Signal Pest with a Gale Rider Sliver. That's pretty nice. Just play Leeching Sliver, go. Oh, no, now I can't ambush it, but it's just a trade. Okay, they do have an Opal this time, so that's good news for them. Now I might be inclined to wait and try to ambush 2 things. So let's name Sliver. And play Leeching Sliver. And we'll see what our opponent does here. And a Master of Ethereum would be really good. A Ravager would be pretty good. A Plating might force me to trade immediately. Ugh. Especially with 2 black. This is not great. So this attack is for 11. If I try to play a Gale Rider and wait, and then untap, play Virulent Sliver, because once I have Gale Rider in play, I can block with anything. Everything's going to be a trade. And I kind of want to keep the Leeching Sliver in play because it makes my attacks pretty good. They're down to 2 cards. I mean, it's an 11-point attack. If I put in Gale Rider and end step, untap, play, go to 2 counters, play Virulent, attack with Gale Rider and Leeching Sliver, deal them 4 and get them to 2 poison, and then no, I should vial in the image copying. Should I copy Leeching or Virulent? Might want to copy Virulent. Yeah, I think I actually take this attack. I think I can set it up so I kill them in 2 turns and have at least 2 blockers next turn. I don't think I'm going to die through 2 blockers. Let's activate. In that case, I think I'm going to put in the Virulent, because I'd rather these Virulents stay in play. So that's my better attacker. Okay. Now let's put a counter here. Another Vial is not great. Play a Cavern, name Sliver again. Activate. Put this one into play. Copy Virulent Sliver. And I guess the way I played it, I died to a Gallblast, don't I? Because I thought I was going to get the Gale Rider Sliver at instant speed. I don't know why I thought that. Well, I've taken an aggressive line. I might as well keep going with it. Might get punished. Yeah, I died to a Gallblast. Or I guess land Ether Grid. I don't even kill. This play was not good because I have to now block. I have always had to block with this image. I didn't think this through. This was not good. I should have left back another creature here and probably copied the. Maybe copying Virulent's still fine. No, I'm in rough shape here actually. Ugh, I don't know what I was thinking. What was the right? I just messed up a lot of different things in this combat. There were a lot of options. Was I supposed to... If I only Gale Rider and block with Leeching, that's probably my best thing, because this is now... Once I'm on this double Virulent plan, this is not a very good creature. I think I should have Wild this in, blocked the 7, only taken 4 this turn. Wild and Gale Rider. Then did everything the same this turn. Play Virulent, Violent Image, copy Virulent. And probably just attack with Gale Rider, get them 2 poison, and then next turn block with Mutavault. And then keep going from there. So as is, I do have to block both to not die to the instant speed activation on plating. But they didn't have a Gal Blast, so that's at least a good sign. If I can draw another Gale Rider or another Virulent Sliver, I might be in this one. I'm surprised they didn't play anything pre-combat. I'm wondering what their hand is. A Gal Blast would have killed me. I guess they might just be moving the plating over and blasting me, thinking that that's also a winning line, and that even though it's simpler to just blast the Gale Rider Sliver. So I guess I'm not out of the woods on a Galvanic Blast yet. But if they don't have the Gal Blast, I assume they should have played some artifacts. I guess if they only have expensive artifacts and can't move the plating over after, at least at instant speed, then there's no point. Now they can just play other, like a 2-mana thing. Oh, Etch Champion, yeah, that one's really good. I do have a Mutavault, actually. So, but it's going to make my attack awkward. I do want to put this on 3. Yeah, that's not good. So... yeah, I don't really have an attack here because they have. This is 7 damage on the board if I attack with Mutavault, and if I attack with Mutavault, they can just take it. If I attack with everything, they can block a colored creature, only go to 8 poison and 7 life. So I just can't attack. Well, in that case, let's get another vial down and play this striking sliver. So they can just move the plating onto the pest and attack with that. That's at least 4 and threatens lethal on the next turn, and I don't have a lethal attack on my turn. I'm only dealing 7. So even another Leeching Sliver or yeah, that'll do too. So that's going to end this game. Yeah, I got my... Oh. Well, that's not going to do it. They just screwed up. Are they going to screw this up? Do they not know Well, activate Mutavault. I think they're dead now. Because I have First Strike. Is this really happening? Just had to put them both on the unblockable creature. I had no hand. Take 4 poison. This is the one with 3. Well, that was not the best of plays for my opponent. Perfect information, and instead of ending the game, they left themselves dead on board. You know, sometimes people do things like that, and sometimes you're the recipient of them. I guess it's the giving season. It's that time of year, and my opponent felt very charitable. I think I could have. I think I could have won that game had I played a little differently and not been sort of forced to throw away the Gale Rider Sliver so early. I think if I do, my original plan was putting Gale Rider on end step and trade away the other creatures. I'm not in great shape to a lot of things they could have that way because I'm not getting in a lot of damage. But my Mutavault would have held off 2 platings plus a Mutavault plus Sidewinder would have held off 2 platings plus Etch Champion. The game would have just gone on a lot longer. And if I can find Harmonic Sliver, then yeah, the game's going to end. But if they find more flyers or maybe Master of Ethereum, Arcbound Ravager, Steel Overseer, one of their other big payoff cards, then yeah, the game might have gone differently. So as is, we didn't play very well, and then our opponent just sort of took pity on us. So hope you enjoyed it, and you can come back and see me on Monday. Bye.